You
way
think
more
Islam has
than,
matured?
Charles. Yeah,
Yeah.
chemical stuff.
Yeah, like
Losers stay losers, you know. So basically, I had a question for Coacher about the upcoming fight between Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev.
Makhachev.
I can't.
Makhachev.
How do you even pronounce that?
I'm not Kazakh or Dagestani. I don't know, man. I'm not Chechen.
I'm
Those
Swedish.
guys, the Chechens, the Dagestanis, you know, what are they called? The Kazakhs. All of those guys from that region are like, we have always known since we were kids, like my older brother always said, just wait until these guys come into the scene and start fighting. They are genetically just a whole different breed. Like,
Genetically?
I don't know.
You
I'm
believe?
just saying that. I don't know, man. I'm not a geneticist. I'm just saying these guys are made different. I don't know what makes them so strong.
I believe it's about...
Some people, yeah, don't say that. Don't say that. Some people think it's something else. I'm not so sure about that. People like,
I was gonna say the fight ethics. I wasn't
oh,
gonna bring in the
okay.
religion,
Yes,
but-
it's the fight ethics. No, I wasn't talking about religion.
No,
No, I was talking about chemical stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Chemical stuff?
Yeah, like people
alright.
say that, but I don't believe it.
I don't believe that either.
I don't believe anything until I see it. So, until then, it's just rumors from jealous people.
Yeah, losers stay losers, you know?
Well, you're crazy. Yeah, okay. Go on. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I have Islam winning by at least unanimous decision. And you got a good point on...
What was my point?
Your point was that Charles Oliveira is still developing as a fighter.
This is what you guys have to understand out there. This is what happens for a fighter, all right? And this is what I told him, because he hasn't started competing yet, but he will. Trust me when I say this kid will start fighting and he will become good, okay? Just listen to this. This is how fighting works. You have about a year of training and getting ready for your first fight. Then you have 2 years of your amateur fights. Then after that, if you're good enough, you can start your first pro fight. So when you come into the scene as a pro fighter, you're not done. Like people think, oh, he's a pro, he's done now. He's fully developed. No, that's not how it works. You develop and mature as you take more pro fights. So if you look at, for example, Khabib's first pro fight, it was pretty shit. Like it wasn't that awesome. But you look at his 5th fight, wow, all of a sudden he looks like a different fighter. 10th fight, wow, he looks like a great fighter. 15 and so on. It's the development of a fighter as you keep going. And so we call it maturity. Okay, so this guy hasn't matured. Oliveira hasn't matured. He's not done. He's not like Oliveira all of a sudden, he did his last fight and now he's going to come back into the scene and do this fight against Islam. And he's going to like it's not like you're going to see the same Oliveira you saw last time. And you're not going to see the same Islam you saw last time. Both of them are still developing as fighters. When the development stops is usually also when a fighter has their last fights. And a lot of fighters refuse to stop after that. That's when you see things like, I'm not going to say names because I love a lot of these fighters, but they just take too many fights. Okay, so that's what I told him.
Yeah, and I see that. I see your point. However, I believe Islam has matured as a fighter.
You think Islam has matured?
Charles. Yeah.
He's not even old, man. He's not even done by far.
No, that's the scary part. Like,
trust me, Islam has not matured. He will become much better as fights go on. The last fight that he had, he took a beating.
Yeah, you mean
for the first time.
Volkanovski, right?
Yeah, and for the first time he took a beating.
But
so I think actually he's going to come back now, and he's going to fight.
Charles Oliveira.
Oliveira, and I think you're going to see a by far different Islam,
Okay.
but you're also going to see a very, very hungry, very skilled, and very fit to fighter in the name of Oliveira.
Okay.
So don't underestimate Oliveira.
I still
If anyone can
believe-
take him, it's him or Volkanovski.
I still believe you're underestimating Islam.
I'm
Since he
not-
got that
Why do
beating.
you think that?
Because he won a prove
So
himself.
that's like saying just because I think someone can. So basically, if I think someone is good enough to take someone, that means I underestimate them? No.
No, but here's the
It's Islam. Who underestimates Islam?
Here's the
All
thing.
I'm saying is people like to underestimate the opponent. And in this case, the opponent is Oliveira. Everyone's got their eyes on Islam. It's always like that in fighting. They have their eyes on one person, and he is the betting favorite, and then so on and so on. And they forget about the other guy in the front of the ring. Or they forget about the guy on the other side of the cage.
All right. So
So
here's
I'm not underestimating Islam. I'm saying everybody else are underestimating Oliveira.
okay. So if I ask you, who would you bet your money on?
I would say this is going to be a closer matchup than people think.
Okay.
It's going to be an all-out war.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I'm not going to say who I think wins because I'm not sure who wins.
Okay, but
All I'm
stylistically-
saying is people think Islam is going to go in and just demolish Oliveira. It's not going to be like that.
No, I don't think that's gonna be the case.
I'm not saying you think that.
No. Yeah.
I'm saying people out there
don't,
think
I
that.
don't, to clarify.
And that's definitely not going to happen. Oliveira is not the fighter you just go in and dominate. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's so great offensively, Oliveira.
He could knock Islam out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
that I would not be surprised.
But Islam's defense is very good. And I don't think Charles gonna find
Oh,
that
it is.
opening.
No, that it's going to be hard for Oliveira.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that I would be surprised if Paddy Pimblett knocked out Islam.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Oliveira knocked out Islam.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So you can't have any feelings involved in what I'm saying. It's just an analysis.
Yeah, I try to see things.
And to be honest with you, there is a very big likelihood that Oliveira knocks out Islam. There's also a very big likelihood that Islam ground and pounds or chokes out or submits Oliveira. Both of these things are also very likely. It's also very likely that Oliveira actually submits Islam.
Do you think?
That's a part that people forget. Do you know how good he is on the ground?
Do you believe he's better than Islam though?
He is good enough to match him. That I know. I'm not saying someone's better. You could strangle me. You could submit me if you and I rolled. What makes you better or I better than you is who submits who more often. But never underestimate it. That's like saying you and me are going to do stand-up and you're not even going to punch me once. Of course you are. You see how people out there think? They think that, oh, he doesn't have a chance at all. That's not how fighting works. Fighting is like, all right, I'll hit you or I'll submit you. Like, fighting is like this. Versus a fighter, are you close? Okay. Versus a fighter, are you not even close? Are you mismatched? Or are you very mismatched? But even in the position where you are very, very mismatched, this guy can still win.
Yeah. It's a game of inches.
It's a game of like finding solutions to problems, and we do it all the time.
Yeah.
I've sparred with people who I should never even be able to touch, and I've smashed them because I found something that day. Now he changed it when he came back to the next session, but you see what I mean? So fighting, just remember, if you are in a cage with someone, rely on the fact that the matchmakers have made sure that you have a chance Otherwise, you wouldn't get the chance to be in that fight. Never forget this. If those two people on the UFC are in the cage together, that means both have a chance.
Yeah, I don't
Otherwise, the
disagree.
matchmakers would say no to the fight.
However,
That's why we have matchmakers.
yeah,
But people want to forget that and say, oh, he doesn't have a chance. No, both have a chance, but one is most likely to win. In this case, I don't think anyone can say it's most likely that Islam will win. Like you guys out there, will you bet your house on Islam? Are you that confident? I'm not. That's the point I'm making.
yeah, that's a good point.
Are you so sure? Can you bet me $1,000 right now? And hold up. No.
No.
Make good on the bet as well.
Yeah.
If Islam loses, you pay me $1,000.
Yeah, no, I can't.
Are you that certain?
No.
No. But if I fought Islam, you would bet the $1,000.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you understand what I mean?
Of course.
So I mean, like Oliveira definitely has a chance, whereas I would not, and you would absolutely be stupid if you didn't bet $1,000 on me losing. He has a chance. He has a very extremely strong chance. He is probably up there with Volkanovski. Those two people, Oliveira and Volkanovski, are the two people that can challenge Islam. And that is the best thing that can happen to Islam. If he wants to achieve true greatness like Khabib, he needs these opponents that can challenge him. Otherwise, he can't develop and mature.
But does he have to be beaten though?
What do you mean? Be beaten?
Yeah.
No.
Does he have to lose?
No.
No.
You just need a fight that makes you actually work.
Yeah.
That's all you need to improve as a fighter. You need better fighters than you or equal to you. But if you always fight people who are lesser than you, you will keep winning and thinking you're great, but you won't actually develop. The only time any person develops is when they're faced with challenges that are hard to overcome. And Oliveira is one of those really hard challenges to overcome for Islam. It's not going to be an easy fight for him.
I never said that.
That's what I mean. I didn't say you said that, but I know people out there say that. It's not going to be an easy fight for Islam. I would say it's very likely that he wins. I wouldn't say extremely likely, but very likely. I'll stick to those words. Very likely. Or just likely. Somewhere between there. Which means Oliveira has a very strong chance. Because I didn't say it's going to be virtually impossible for Oliveira. All I said was very likely. But we've seen worse things happen. And if anyone can challenge Islam, it is
Either Oliveira or Volkanovski.
It is those two.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I'm not so sure I would have given the win to Islam last time.
Last time?
With Volkanovski.
Okay. Yeah.
I had my doubts in that fight, man. After that fight, I had my doubts. I was like, who actually took it? I'm not so sure. Because I always question a fight like this. I always say, what would have happened with 2 more rounds? Mm-hmm. With them as they were in that very moment right there, with 2 or 3 or 4 more rounds, or just unlimited rounds, or just someone stopping everything and saying, you know, guys, keep going. We will stop when one of you is sleeping. What would have happened?
I believe Volkanovski would have
That's
won.
the thing.
He got the better cardio.
That's the thing. I, as a fighter, I think as a fighter, and not always as a sportsman. If I think as a sportsman, then it was fair. Islam won, according to the rules of the sport at the time and the way we judge the fight. But just as a fighter, like which one of those do I believe was the best fighter at the time? Based on who would have ended up. If I lock those people, like if I lock them too in the cage, because that's the whole point of a cage, you get locked in and you don't come out, right?
Yeah.
What if we actually locked it and said only one is allowed to come out? Who would have won?
Most likely Volkanovski.
Most likely Volkanovski would have beaten him. He would have beaten him badly. Question is when, but he would have done it. Or how, I don't know how. Maybe finally tire him and get him to a ground and pound position and just smash until he's done. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Either way, it's going to be an amazing fight.
Yeah.
And we're all looking forward to it. I don't look forward to a lot of fights, but I do look forward to this one. And I also look forward to...
Khamzat Paulo Costa.
Yeah, and I also look forward to Khamzat. He's one of my fellow countrymen. He fights from Stockholm, and I used to fight from Gothenburg. And yeah, of course I'm on Khamzat's side. So Khamzat, you got this, right? You guys train hard, fight easy. We all look forward to the fights. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.